This is Future Proof, the show that packs your brain for the future. Your hosts are Robbie and Terry, both 15 years old. Every week, they argue about the jobs, the technology, and the big ideas headed our way. So you're ready before they get here.
Welcome back to Future Proof, the show that packs your brain for the future. I'm Terry.
And I'm Robbie. And today we're asking the question, is lab-grown meat gross, genius, or just dinner?
Picture this, a burger that came from a tiny sample of cow cells, no cow harmed, no field needed.
Scientists basically said, what if we skipped the cow part? And honestly, respect.
Okay, but Robbie, let's be real. The first lab-grown burger was made in 2013 and cost about $300,000.
$300,000. That's a burger with a mortgage.
But prices have dropped like crazy. Some companies now estimate lab-grown meat could hit grocery stores for under $20 a pound within a few years.
Which is wild, because 10 years ago, people thought this was pure science fiction.
Here's the actual science, though. You take muscle stem cells from an animal, put them in a nutrient broth, and they multiply into real muscle tissue.
Which is exactly what meat is, muscle tissue. So technically it's not fake meat. It's just meat grown in a different address.
The cow's address versus the lab's address.
Exactly. One has a lot more manure.
The environmental case is genuinely huge. Conventional beef produces roughly 80 times more greenhouse gases per gram of protein than lab-grown alternatives.
80 times. That's not a rounding error. That's a whole different planet.
Livestock farming uses about 80% of all agricultural land on Earth, but delivers less than 20% of global calories.
So cows are basically the world's least efficient restaurant.
Okay, but here's where I want to push back a little. Growing cells in a bioreactor still uses energy. It's not zero emissions.
True. Current lab-grown production is still pretty energy-heavy, so a lot depends on whether we're powering those labs with renewables.
Which is actually totally doable. The math gets much better with clean energy.
And meanwhile, regular beef isn't getting cleaner anytime soon.
There's also the land freedom angle. If lab-grown takes over, we could rewild huge chunks of farmland and pull carbon back out of the atmosphere.
Imagine rewilding land the size of a continent. That's not fantasy. Some researchers actually model scenarios where that happens by 2050.
Okay, gross factor check. Robbie, on a scale of 1 to 10, how weird does growing meat in a vat feel to you?
Honestly, like a 4. I've seen how regular meat is made. The vat is winning.
Fair point. Slaughterhouse videos are not exactly appetizing either.
At least the lab is quiet and temperature controlled.
The texture debate is real, though. Early lab-grown samples were described as a bit rubbery, lacking fat marbling.
But companies have been cracking the fat problem. They're now growing fat cells separately and combining them with muscle cells for actual flavor.
So it's not just a beige protein disk anymore. Progress.
Beige protein disc is my new band name, by the way.
Regulatory-wise, the US approved 2 companies to sell lab-grown chicken in 2023, Good Meat and Upside Foods.
So this isn't hypothetical anymore. People have ordered it in restaurants. Real humans ate lab chicken and lived.
And reported it tasted like chicken.
Wild, groundbreaking journalism.
The global meat industry is worth about $1.4 trillion, so you can bet a lot of powerful people want to slow this down.
But a lot of equally powerful investors are betting on it growing. The money is racing itself.
Traditional farmers have real concerns too, livelihoods, rural economies. This transition needs to be handled thoughtfully.
Agreed. Just switch to lab meat ignores that millions of people's jobs are tied to conventional agriculture.
So the smartest path is probably both tracks running together, cleaner conventional farming plus scaling up cultivated meat.
Competition drives improvement. That's basically always true.
Bottom line for me, lab-grown meat isn't going to replace your grandma's roast chicken next Thursday.
But in 15 years, I genuinely think it's on menus everywhere, normalized, cheaper, and honestly, probably pretty good.
And a lot kinder to the planet and the animals along the way.
Gross, genius, or the future of dinner. Our verdict, all three in the best possible order.
Start gross, get genius, end up at dinner. That's basically how all great ideas work.
Thanks for thinking with us today. Stay curious, stay hungry, preferably for the sustainable option, and we'll see you next week on Future Proof.